Welcome back to Fourth and Pain, the only football and pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. With me, as always, Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker.
Thank you for listening to Fourth and Pain, and thank you for being one of the millions and millions of the Fourth and Pain listeners.
Rocky Maivia Carriker is my co-host. I'm former wrestling announcer, weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. Be sure, if you do nothing else in life, to follow the show on tweeters at Fourth and Pain, where we tweet out new shows each and every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Fourth and Page. Fourth and Pain. God, I can't talk today. But like us, I guarantee.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, like us and you'll like it. Anyway, Adam.
Great job, Chuck.
Thank you. I know. That's,
Radio mediocrity at its finest.
dude, I set the bar very low for myself so I can just keep climbing that ladder.
And you can just step right under it. Okay.
And there we have it. All right, so here we go. Fourth and Pain, family segment, your questions, our answers. You've submitted these to us via Twitter, via Facebook, via iTunes, etc., et al. Adam, first question comes to you from... Who do we have here today? Mike in Ashburn via our Facebook page. What would your prediction be this year for the Redskins?
My prediction for the Redskins, I look at our team and I see a team that won the NFC East Championship last year. I see a team that finished the year winning 7 straight, and you always want to get better. We expect to be better. Our expectation is to make a deep playoff run. Our expectation is the Super Bowl. Everybody wants that ring. If that's not your mindset, then you're in the wrong business. I look at our defense. Our defense is going to be solid and stout. I come back at some point, and it will happen. I'm going to make us even better. We're going to be a top 10, top 5 defense and a team that makes a Super Bowl run with the Super Bowl championship on our minds.
Ooh, fancy pants. Next question comes from John, no last name, in Dallas on our YouTube channel. Hey, checking it out. We're infiltrating Cowboys country.
I like it.
He writes in, Johnny Manziel is good. I wonder if that's who wrote in. But he knows it. Do you like Johnny Manziel or not?
I love Johnny Manziel. I've said it before. Michael Vick, Charlie Ward, Johnny Manziel, the 3 most exciting college football players I've ever watched in my life. Does this man talk a lot of trash? Yes. Did he do something and possibly get away with it because they couldn't prove it? It's a very viable option. Here's what I'm going to tell you. In the first game he played, he was suspended the first half. He was taken out of the last 8+ minutes of the game because he was talking trash to the other team by his coach. He threw 3 touchdowns and for a couple hundred yards in just over a quarter. What makes him great on the field? That daredevil, bring it on type attitude is what gets him in trouble off the field. It's what I love to watch about him on and off the field. I'm a fan. I hope he matures a little bit. He's going to get in some serious trouble, but I love me some Johnny football.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Last question. From No Daniel on Twitter. That's NODA_Neil on the tweeters, a.k.a. Daniel Mace. Should Bo take the black shirts he awarded? I assume, yeah, Nebraska question. That's tough.
That's a Nebraska question. The Nebraska defense gave up 600 yards to a Wyoming offense that wasn't that good. Here's what I'll say. Had they lost the game and given up 600 yards, the answer would have been yes. If they do this 2 weeks in a row, the answer is going to be yes. What I'm going to say is they played a lot of freshmen. Bo did not scale back his defensive scheme, which shows confidence in his team, in all honesty, even with all those freshmen out there. I'm going to say it's a one-time performance, and all those people who think that they shouldn't get their black shirts till halfway through the season, that's a bunch of bogus crap. I played there. As soon as camp is over, if you're a starter and you've earned it, you should get it right there. Now, if you don't play well and they continue not play well, they should lose it. But at this point, not yet. Give those young guys a chance to grow.
The team was unranked, but we can address that later on.
You guys played Temple or Synagogue or whatever in Notre Dame.
And we blew them out of the water. Notre Dame sure looked good, didn't they? But we got to move on here on Fourth and Pain. Time to bring on your lovely wife, Angie. A very serious topic this week on the Pulse. So, Adam, I'm going to let you handle everything.
Hey, sweetie, how you doing? It's time for the Pulse. Can you hear us?
Yep.
All right. So this past, a couple of weeks ago, we found out that my son has an indentation in his chest, which I have as well, and his is a lot more pronounced than mine. Basically, we took him to see a couple of people throughout the process. The indentation is not an issue. What happened, though, is they saw on an x-ray what they thought looked like an enlarged heart. So we took him to the doctor last Friday, and I was with you, Ange, but I'll let you talk about what happened, the outcome of everything. I'll let you talk about all that.
We went to see a pediatric cardiologist who happened to be a Dallas fan. But luckily his son is a big Redskins fan and even sings Hail to the Redskins to him. So anyways, side note. But they did an EKG on him. They did echoes on him to make sure everything was working properly, checked all the valves, checked the size, and we did backflips when we were told that he has a very healthy heart.
Good.
So yeah.
Well, that's certainly a scare. I remember when I was a young kid. Matter of fact, it was when I went to get my physical. Every year you play high school football, you have to get the physical. Well, my regular doctor discovered like I had a heart murmur, and then she sent me off to this cardiologist, and I remember getting hooked up to that EKG, and I was 13 or 14 at the time, and it scared me to death, even at that age. So I can't even imagine what Jacob was going through at that point.
Well, he was actually a champion.
Great.
Yeah, he did a great job. Well, they did a bunch of tests, and even you hear about these kids that they're playing football or basketball and they collapse randomly and die. They did a test, and we can be assured that that won't happen with him because they were able to do this test. He does have a normal sized heart, and for a week and a half, her and I were kind of walking around on eggshells and tiptoes, and
Sure.
Now our minds are clear. It reminds us of what happened with our daughter Addison, who about a month before she was going to be born, they discovered that she had a coarctation of the heart. Now, I can never explain this right. Explain exactly what that is again, hon.
It just happens in newborn babies. Like the aorta branch that comes off, it narrows, and it's okay while they're in the womb, but when they come out, that'll completely narrow down and close, and then we were told you would find a blue baby and not know why. But
About
it
3
was
days after the
diagnosed
birth, yeah.
by multiple people before we had her, so they were ready to do heart surgery on her. We had her. They took her away right away, did an echo on her, and she was perfectly fine. So then they had to give her some medicine, close her belly button, and then checked her a couple days after that. Completely fine. Again, doctor walks in, you can go home with your healthy baby.
Wow.
And here we were ready to stay weeks in the hospital, something we were going to have to deal with the rest of our lives, that she would have to be kind of monitored. So, yeah.
Wow. I can't even imagine being a parent in that situation. The sense of relief both of you must have had at that point, and then certainly more recently with Jacob. I mean, it goes to show you that there is certainly way more to life than just what happens on the football field,
Oh, there absolutely is, and it's interesting because my dad, he's in his 60s, they discovered that he has a heart issue, don't really know what it is. We told the pediatric doctor about it. And when I described the symptoms, he's like, that's normal for a man in his 60s. When I was a freshman in high school football, my heart went about 200 beats a minute for about 24 straight hours. So they did a bunch of tests on me, never had an issue since, been cleared since. So it's nice to know, I told the doctor all these things, that we don't have to worry about any of this stuff with our kids. I mean, we've seen them hooked up to wires and cords for days on end, especially Addison in the NICU for almost a week straight. So to know that everybody is fine, everybody is safe, I mean, it's just it's an amazing feeling.
Well, Ange, greatly appreciate your time and sharing that story with us.
You're welcome.
All right, Angie Carriker on Fourth and Pain with the Pulse. Be sure to give her a follow on the tweeters at Angie Carriker, ANGCARRIKER. And
I should mention we have some pictures that Ange took about right after Trinity was born and during Jacob's heart procedure, not procedure, but in checkup, that we'll be posting on Fourth and Pain.
Absolutely. So go there, check that out as you are watching this right now on our YouTube channel or listening to us on the radio. Adam, time for one more question. What do you got, my man?
I got a weight loss question for you. This is from Phyllis in Salem, Oregon. She's an iTunes subscriber. Don't forget, you can send us your Ask a Weight Loss Champion or Ask an NFL Player, your questions on fourthandpain.com as well. Her question from Phyllis is this: soda, is it really all that bad for you? How does diet soda keep weight on?
Well, the answer is yes. It really is that bad for you. As a matter of fact, it's one of the worst things that you can put in your body. But I'll start with the diet soda. Even though it says 0 calories, no fat, blah, 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 that's all chemicals. You don't want to put that in your body anyway. Remember, you ever get a sweet and low packet and it says, may cause or has shown to prove to give cancer to lab rats or something to that effect. That's in your soda. You don't want to drink that. And secondly, whether or not it's real sugar or fake sugar, your body really can't tell a difference, and sugar stores fat. You can't lose weight if you're consuming a lot of soda. And I'll stop with this: 33 grams of sugar in a cup or in a can of soda. That's equivalent to a quarter cup of sugar per can.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Cavities and diabetes. We are fresh out of time. Thank you so very much for believing in our weirdness.
On behalf of the largest arms on the D-line, my lovely bride Angie, and our children Jacob, Addison, and Trinity, and the weight loss champion himself, Chuck Carroll, thank you for being a part of the Fourth and Pain family.
And now, words of wisdom with Adam Carriker.
Hannah on the streets, but Miley in the sheets.